So Samsung have been pushing their Galaxy Tabs for quite some time now, but this is the first year where I've actually thought that they could go toe to toe with the Apple iPad. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm a massive Apple fanboy, but I am massively excited for these devices, and here's why. So first up, they ship in two separate sizes. So the standard Galaxy Tab S7 ships with an 11-inch screen, and the S7 Plus ships with a 12.4-inch display, which is awesome. So one of the things they're packing this year around is a 120Hz display, so they're going to have a super fast refresh, which finally rivals the Apple iPad, which is a buttery smooth. Now, there's one key reason why this is a massive win for Samsung, and it's not because it makes the display look really crisp and smooth, and it's not because it makes gaming look absolutely awesome. The big win for them is the fact that it really boosts up the pen input. So one of the reasons why the iPad has been such a massive hit, and especially with that 120Hz display, is the fact that the pen input feels like you're actually writing on something. It's super low latency, and the refresh rate just makes it feel so natural. And if Samsung can emulate that in any way, or even get marginally close to what Apple are delivering, then users are in for a massive treat. The improved refresh rate and the ultra low latency S Pen that Samsung are offering will massively help them to level up their game, especially when it comes to note taking or drawing. And hey, by the way, that S Pen, it comes included with the Tab, which is a massive benefit over Apple's offering, which costs an arm and a leg to get hold of the Apple Pencil. The tablets will also include quad speaker sound by AKG and Dolby Atmos, and anybody who's used Dolby Atmos on these tablets in the past will know how good that sound quality is. I use the iPad Pro 12.9 inch and I love the quad speakers on that, but Dolby Atmos has blown me away in the past on Samsung's offerings, so seeing it around at this time is going to be absolutely awesome, and I can't wait to hear how it actually sounds. Now, on the productivity side, that's where Samsung are going to come into their own this year. You can plug in a mouse or a keyboard, or get Samsung's keyboard case as well, which is really handy. That keyboard case is sold separately, but it comes with a trackpad and it comes with an awesome looking keyboard. It also has a kickstand that goes onto the back. But the biggest win is in the software for Samsung. And the reason I say that is because of something called Samsung DeX. Now, if you haven't heard of Samsung DeX, it's basically this in a nutshell. What it does is it takes the Android experience and turns it into a more desktop-friendly experience. So you'll be able to have multiple windows open at the same time. It looks very similar to something like Windows 10, just a bit scaled down. And it offers miles better multitasking. It just feels more natural to use when you're using a keyboard or a mouse for input. Unlike something like the iPad, which just retains its touch-friendly interface, and even though it now has keyboard and trackpad support, it's still a bit fiddly when you're using it. Now, that might sound a little bit muddled when you think about using it on a tablet, but the larger screen size is going to massively help for that. But you've also got to think of it this way: you can hook your tablet up to an external display and then start multitasking on a larger scale as well, which gets us much closer to having that one device rather than having a desktop, a tablet, and a laptop on the go. You could just have the one thing, plug it in, and you're ready to go. Now, DeX has improved massively over the years, and I can't wait to see how it looks on something like the Galaxy Tab 7S Plus. So another massive win is gaming on this thing. Microsoft recently announced their update to the Game Pass, which basically allow you to stream mobile games over the cloud to different devices, especially Android. And combined with something like the large screen on the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus and the awesome refresh rate, that should be pretty damn amazing. If you do pre-order at the moment, you'll get 3 months free on Game Pass, and you'll also get a game controller included, so that's a pretty big win to kind of tempt you over at this early pre-order stage. Now, cloud gaming has come a long way since it first launched, and you can get some really playable games, especially if you have a decent connection. Now, if you think about it this way, you'd have a nice little portable, basically Xbox that you'd be able to play on. And you might be wondering why I'm bringing this up, since it's just streaming, so therefore surely it should work on something like the iPad. Well, no, because Apple being Apple have unfortunately basically banned this at the moment. It doesn't comply with the App Store policy, which means things like GeForce Now, Stadia, and Microsoft offerings aren't going to be allowed on the iPad or the iPhone, which is a real shame and a massive disappointment. Fingers crossed Apple change the way they're going with that one, but you know what, they kind of are all in with Apple Arcade at the moment, so I can't see that switching anytime soon. So you know what, sorry iPad gamers. Now, of course, it's not all smooth sailing. If you are considering getting one of these devices, there's a couple of things to take into consideration. The first one for me, and it's always been a massive off-putter for me when it comes to Android devices, especially the tablets, is the lack of support. You tend to get a safe 2 years, especially when it comes to Samsung devices, but anything after that is just an added bonus. Now, you compare that to something like Apple's offerings, who just seem to be constantly stretching out the length of time that a device can survive and get software updates. That's a massive deal killer, and especially when you start to look at the resale price afterwards. Now, that might change in the future, but at the moment it's definitely a deterrent for me especially, because I like to get the most out of my devices and see how long they live for. A lot of the time with my Apple devices, they do tend to last quite a long time, but you always hear these stories about Android updates not getting delivered to different devices on time, getting delayed, or just getting killed off in general. Throw in the fact that Android apps just tend not to be optimized for Android tablets, which is a real shame. There's just this disparity between them. Although there are loads of different applications, a lot of the time they don't scale well on the larger screens, they just don't look right, or they don't interact well either. If you are going to go down this route, it's certainly worthwhile just checking out a few of the reviews about the applications that you know you're going to use, or making sure they're available in general, because a lot of the time they just tend to be a blown up phone version, which is just a bit of a deal killer. Now, those things aside, I am crazy excited about the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 and the Tab 7S Plus. It is the first time in a very long time I've been excited for a Samsung device, and I can't wait to see what they're like in real life. It really has been a very long time, and we're talking old Note tablet, since I've sat down and looked at a Samsung device and thought, hey, you know what, I would actually like to use that as my daily driver. But here we are, so I guess we'll see what they turn out like. The Galaxy Tab S7 starts at £619, and the S7 Plus starts at £799. Now that's for the Wi-Fi only model, and you can get cellular enabled models as well. The S7 ships with a 4G variant, and that's £719, and the S7 Plus ships with a 5G variant, and that's £999. So as always, let us know your thoughts on the new Samsung tablets. Are you going to be grabbing one of them this year, or are you going to be giving it a miss? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really helps to support the channel. We'll be bringing you content again in the future, and we look forward to seeing you then. So in the meantime, stay safe, and ta-ra for now.